He was doing his best, strange as it felt, to impersonate an illegal immigrant. Feeling self-conscious about his bare-chested piratical getup, he passed a basketball court where migrants dozed on the blacktop, their backpacks and laundry hanging on the chain-link fence. He walked through a low-slung corridor of houses and shops painted in peeling blues, greens, and yellows. Migrants crouched by the tracks, drank water, talked on cell phones, and eyed signs offering the use of toilets and showers for a fee. Pescatore approached a grocery stand. Flanked by a cobbler's hut and a bike repair shop, the open-air cubicle did brisk business. It seemed like a good place to start. A sign proclaimed Almacén Doña Alma. The proprietress barely fit among her wares. She had chubby cheeks and black braids and wore a frilly white blouse with floral designs. Pescatore bought a bottle of water. He leaned on the counter. "Oiga, señora, please," he said. "I'm looking for a guy named Chiclet." He spoke softly, politely, like a gentleman hard-ass, and faked a Cuban accent. A lot of Cubans came through here. Pescatore had talked that morning to a genial muscle man from Bayamo named Nelson. Nelson had followed a well-traveled route via Ecuador. After working in Quito for a while, he had headed north, knowing he had a shot at refugee status if he could just present himself to border inspectors at a port of entry in Texas. The accents Pescatore could best imitate by virtue of his ethnicity and experience, Argentine and Mexican, were not relevant, but he could pull off Cuban. He tried to mimic the sugary cadences of Nelson from Bayamo and Isabel Puente's cousin Dionisio from Miami, a car salesman who said oiga and oye a lot. "Oiga, they call him Chiclet," he said, glancing around. "Honduran. He's a guide. Helps people go north. Please, señora, can you give me a hand?" Doña Alma studied him. Beads of sweat glistened on her high forehead. He wondered if she was Maya. Her earrings were silver crucifixes. Maybe the TJ jailbird cross on his chest would score points with her. Finally, she said, "No sabría decirle." The wariest response possible, worse than "I don't know." It literally meant, "I wouldn't know what to tell you." It really meant, "I'm not going to say anything about anything, and your questions frighten me, so please go away forever." Or not. Doña Alma did an interesting thing. Her eyes widened and did a slow shift to the right. Her gaze fixed itself on a point over his left shoulder, paused, then lowered demurely. "No sabría decirle," she repeated. Once again, her eyes traced the same parabola. Her look lingered on the spot beyond his shoulder. A hint of a grin flickered across her face. "Oiga, no problem, señora," he said, raising his voice for the benefit of anyone in earshot. "Thanks much, just the same. God bless you." He turned casually, swigging water. Doña Alma had eyeballed a box-like structure near a curve in the tracks. Getting closer, he saw it was a diner called Delicias Hondureñas. The faded walls were painted blue and white, the Honduran national colors. The corrugated metal roof was off-kilter like a carelessly worn hat. People congregated on the front patio around white plastic tables and a Honduran flag on a pole. Honduras was drowning in dysfunction. It had one of the highest homicide rates in the world. Hondurans were becoming soldiers in Mexican cartels. Joints like Delicias Hondureñas were popping up in places like Palenque. A bald, shirtless guy lounged at an outdoor table. 3 tattoo-covered hoodlums drank beer at an adjacent table. They looked like mareros, members of the Maras, the Central American street gangs born in the United States and bred into transnational killing machines. A dozen migrants hovered in clumps of 2 and 3, supplicants waiting at a respectful distance from the gatekeepers of their future. Pescatore joined the migrants. He leaned against a tree and gulped water. God, is it hot. God, am I hungover. 2 teenagers were the center of attention. They stood in front of the shirtless man. Pescatore concluded that his nickname was La Rana, the frog, when, in an indolent voice, he said, "La Rana decides who rides. As of now, you're not going anywhere." The boy told La Rana that his name was Oscar. He was about 16. His fashionable red high top struck Pescatore.